is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. From where shall come my help? My help shall come from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will keep your foot from stumbling. Your God will never slumber. No, he sleeps, not for slumbers, Israel's God. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord your God, the Lord your shade, at your right hand. By day the sun shall not smite you, nor the moon in the night. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord will guard you from evil. He will guard your soul. The Lord will guard your going and coming, both now and forever. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth.
And the most important verse was the one they made up in Montgomery, Alabama. Said, we are not afraid. There's a lot of people in this world, they know what's right and what's wrong, but they're not going to do anything about it. Somebody has to be willing to sing, we are not afraid. We are not
Hello, Monsignor Daniel McHugh. My reflection for the 29th Sunday of the year. Live your lives in full consciousness of God's testing. Venerable Fulton Sheen. When the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? From Sunday's Gospel, Luke 18. A recent post I saw by a priest on the internet contained a picture of the remains of a ruined monastery, and this quote from the Venerable Fulton Sheen. We are at the end of Christendom. Now, what is meant by Christendom? Christendom is economic, political, social life as inspired by Christian principles. That is ending. We have seen it die. However, there are great and wonderful days in which to be alive. It is not a gloomy picture. It is a picture of the Church in the midst of witnessing opposition from the world. And therefore, live your lives in full consciousness of this hour of testing and rally close to the heart of Christ. Recently, the ethnic chaplaincies led a Jubilee Year pilgrimage to Evesham. The ruins of the Benedictine monastery there can lead us to reflect on the place of the Church in society today. It could be a gloomy picture, as Fulton Sheen says. On the other hand, it is an image that calls us to rally close to the heart of Christ. That is the message of the Gospel for the 29th Sunday of the year. The persistence of the widow in the parable, leading to her receiving justice from the corrupt judge, is an image of our Lord's call to us. Go, pray, and not lose heart. In the case of Evesham, where the first public apparition of Our Lady in the country took place in 701, people have continued to pray and not lose heart, despite the setback of the destruction of the monastery built on the site of the apparition, and the lack of faith today that can undermine the practice and devotion in the midst of increasing opposition from the world referred to by Sheen. The pilgrimage day to Our Lady of Evesham, marking the Jubilee year, 2025, led one Cameroonian woman to say, "It was a spiritually filled day indeed." As we look around us in the church community, we can see how the vision of Pope Leo of migrants being missionaries of hope is a reality for which we give thanks. Connected with the role migrants play in a church where we are all called to be missionaries of hope among all peoples, the theme for World Mission Sunday, is the importance of prayer for priestly vocations. This past Sunday, the ethnic chaplaincies and Eastern Catholic churches were invited by the rector of St. Mary's Seminary, Oscott, to a family afternoon to see where training for priesthood takes place and to pray for priestly vocations, especially in our ethnic communities. Families where the faith is alive and flourishing are sure seedbeds for future priests, the leaders of our Catholic faith. The words of our Lord at the end of the passage from the Gospel of Luke on the 29th Sunday, "When the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth?" can seem especially applicable to those seeking to promote priestly vocations. Jesus notes how easy it can be to lose heart. Happily, in the context of ethnic communities and Eastern Catholic churches, it is good to see priestly vocations emerging and growing. The lesson from our Lord in the Gospel of the 29th Sunday is that we should persist in prayer and not lose heart. I found the catechesis being given by Pope Leo at his Wednesday audience on the 8th of October particularly helpful in this regard. The focus was the resurrection of Jesus and how it transformed every aspect of our lives. The Pope said, "There is no obstacle that can prevent us from recognizing Christ's presence in everyday life. The illusion that joy must be without wounds." Christopher Wells, in his report on the catechesis at the audience, writes, "The disciples on the road to Emmaus were saddened when their expectations of the Messiah were disappointed. The Pope recalled, and Jesus, though, helped them to understand that sorrow and pain do not negate God's promises, but are instead, quote, the very path by which God reveals the depths of his love." Wells continued, "The resurrection of Jesus," the Pope said, "teaches us that no one's life story is so marked by disappointment or sin that it can't be visited by hope. That no fall is definitive, no night eternal, no wound destined to remain open forever. However far away we may feel, however lost or unworthy, there is no distance that can extinguish the unfailing power of God's love." Pope Leo emphasized that it is precisely in our darkest moments that Jesus comes to us, asking us to allow him to remain with us and warm our hearts.